Good morning. Today's program is brought to you by Vagabond Creative Studio and Grow with KLO. Welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. This is my pal, Kristin Odell of Grow with KLO. Kristin, how are you?
Morning, cheers. It tastes so good today, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? With a little bit of snow on the ground. Anyway, there's snow by our house where my home office is. Is there snow by you?
Yes, we have snow too. I like it. It was kind of pretty yesterday. I'm sorry if you guys don't like it. I love it. It's so pretty. It's better than rain too, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? It sure is pretty. And by the end of the day yesterday, it was already 40s again, so very manageable.
Yes, and the roads weren't slippery. So we got like the best of everything.
Although my team was like, come on, Blizzard, come on, Blizzard. And I'm like, you just pipe down over there.
Right. There's, according to the Farmer's Almanac, I don't know if people still look at the Farmer's Almanac or all the powers that be, it's supposed to be a high precipitation winter.
Oh, you know what? I will have to tell him that. He will be thrilled. Do your girls like snow?
Yes, of course. They're like, we got to get our snow pants out. Yes, it's fun.
That's too awesome. You know, I just so it's like 8:30 in the morning here and it's virtual school time. So I was just making sure that my teen was like logged on and ready to go. And when I popped in there, I'm like, hey, are you logged on? He's like, I'm just logging into my Reese's class. I'm like, Reese's, like Reese's chocolate. He's like, oh, mom, I think I was dreaming.
That sounds like a pretty epic dream if you're dreaming about Reese's.
Yeah, right. And a whole class about it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But you know what? Can I brag for just a moment? I am so proud of this kid. So don't show his picture a lot. It's funny because he's so proud of the beard that he's growing. But this quarter, he turned in straight A's. And so I'm just so happy that with the virtual school and the whole shift, that he's still, it's working for him.
That is amazing. Congratulations to Teak and to you, mom and dad, right? You guys are obviously doing a good job with him, but that's no easy task right now. I feel like there's a lot at play for these kiddos. And so great job, Teak.
Thanks. He would love to hear that. So, hey, Kristin, you sent me a picture that looks so delicious. Let's talk about this.
All right, guys. So last night I made a pot of soup. So this is the beginning of my Grandma Zip's beef vegetable soup. And we actually harvested 2 heads of cabbage out of our garden yet on Saturday. So I threw those heads of cabbage in there and local ground beef and just lots of veggies. So in the end, it has tomatoes and corn and celery and onions and carrots and cabbage and all these amazing things. And it just is so hearty and hits the spot. There's just something about it that is always good in fall. So we want to hear, what are your favorite fall recipes? What do you guys like to eat, Tina, in the fall?
Wow. Well, that looked so good, Kristin. And I would love, I'm just trying to figure out my lighting here. I would love to hear too what our viewers are cooking up and what kind of recipes they could share. I just discovered a great and easy pork chop recipe. So it's like a sauce and it's just honey and garlic and butter and water and a little bit of vinegar. And you cook it up and it makes like this, gravy-ish sauce that even the never will I eat pork chops son of mine was like, Mom, these are really good. Can you make them again? So that's my latest kind of fall treat is pork chops and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that sounds good. Great job finding a recipe for the picky eater.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it's funny because he thinks now that he likes pork more than chicken, which last week he didn't like pork at all. So it's funny. Teens are very capricious.
Isn't that funny? So we just got, right before winter here, we kind of restocked our freezer. So we bought a local pig from Downey's. And we just are fully stashed on pork in our freezers. And then we went in on a cow with some friends. So we have a third of a cow. So our freezers are full. And so I think as we transition into the winter, I found like Sunday I made lasagna and just we're making all these like very hearty family meals now, I feel like, going into the fall and winter.
That is really cool, Kristin. So do you have like a big chest freezer or something that you're able to store all of that in?
We do. We have a chest freezer in our basement, a deep freezer, and then Doug also is a deer hunter, so we have venison in our other refrigerator freezer. So yes, we're clearly meat eaters. Sorry, I can't apologize for that. We love it. So, but yeah, it's nice. I don't know. It's just been fun. I feel like it's rejuvenated my cooking desires.
Well, I love it, and especially the fact that you were able to pull cabbage right out of your own garden. There's really nothing more satisfying than knowing that what you're eating is something you created with your own hands.
Yeah, it was really fun for the girls to like walk down there. We had kind of thought our season was done. And so we walked down because we were going to pull everything. And the girls found a couple small heads of cauliflower, maybe like this big. And then, um, and then these couple heads of cabbage. So they were like, woohoo, we get to cut one more time. I'm like, I'll take it. So
Nice. I had one zucchini plant this year, and usually it's pretty successful. I'll get multiple zucchini, but this year it was the rabbits thought it was for them. And the rabbits are so cute that I just don't have the heart to deter them. So I was like, okay, this one's for you.
it's funny you say that because a friend of mine just shared this year that they're like none of their things, zucchini, squash, like the stuff that is almost always hardy. They didn't get any of them, and they thought the deer were eating them. So maybe it's the rabbits that got them.
Oh, unless it was just something with the climate this year.
And it could have been. It was more of a wet year. There also was, remember, more rabbits, and remember we talked about this early on. I feel like everybody was like, "Oh, there's rabbits everywhere."
So, Kristin, tell me about your cup again. Did you say that you got that cup at the Flower Gallery?
This cup is from the Flower Gallery. I
That's
walked
awesome.
one time and I thought it was beautiful and I didn't buy it. I exercised some short-term willpower. And then the next time I went in, it was still there. And then I said, screw it, I'm buying it now. So yes, this is from the
Very
Flower.
nice. Well, speaking of the Flower Gallery, we have like a special guest joining us today. Should I bring her in?
Yeah.
Let's bring her into the studio. Everybody, welcome Patty Roth. And she is coming to us live from the Flower Gallery. How's it going, Patty?
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
I'm using water today. No coffee in my cup. I have fasting lab work, so bummer. But water
Wow.
is a girl's best friend, just so everyone knows water is.
What will you have after the labs are done?
I'm still thinking. I might go straight for the cheeseburger because it's lunchtime. So
That sounds good.
yeah, right.
Will you have curds with that burger?
Oh, I'm going to have probably onion rings smashed on top. I've been dreaming all night of my food choices when I'm done, but I will prevail.
Love it. So
Well, I
Pat,
hope it all goes well.
oh, sorry. So you're joining us today because you work at the Flower Gallery and you are going to just share with us all things Christmas.
All things Christmas. So yes, I'm a little elf here at the Flower Gallery. Dana, the store owner, is away watering plants at a commercial site. So that's something that the Flower Gallery does do for commercial businesses. Who knew, right? Who keeps care of all those plants? Someone has to. So I am an elf upstairs. So you're probably thinking, where am I? We are a masked business. So I've got my mask down because I'm upstairs. We are open at 8:30. So I wanted to get out of, in case we had customers come in or the phone start ringing. But we have been super busy. I'm probably still covered in glitter. We are covered in glitter from about September all the way through January with getting things in, checking them over, and then pulling them up and stocking them. That is the fun part, certainly. I learned of the Flower Gallery years ago when I would shop here with my mom and loved some of the things. And then I met Dana through a networking group and loved her story. Love supporting women business owners because I think it's one of the hardest things on the planet to take a chance and do. And then I would just come in and get away from my kids for a little bit when they were really little, like a 1-year-old. Like, please let me just get to decorate all day and have fun with flowers. And then I've been sucked in even more. So I try to keep that balance with all the other things I have going on, but I love it here. And Christmas is one of my most favorite times of year. So it's like, I forget I'm working some days. I really do. And we wanted to come on and talk about Christmas. And I think the thing that strikes all of us, and I know I can get sentimental once in a while, but it's that feeling that we get when we think about Christmas. It doesn't even have to do necessarily with the stuff surrounding Christmas. It's maybe the smells that you used to walk into grandma's house, or baking. I know so many of us have fond memories of baking alongside aunts, uncles, grandmas, whatever, cousins, and that is what we try to bring out in our gifts and our displays, that it's about the feelings and really what does the stuff say about us, or what do we want to create when we're at home, or gift giving. I love getting gifts, but I love more giving gifts. So Dana shops in January. Can you imagine? Right after the season, that's when Christmas shopping is done for a retail store. It is
You mean
amazing.
she has to plan that far in advance for what is
Correct.
available now? Wow.
Exactly. So,
right. So you got to go down to Atlanta and do this with her this past year, right?
Every year she picks someone else to go down with her and see how it's done, which is amazing. So I was picked this year. Little did I know that the world would shut down, so I enjoyed my trip away. I would have enjoyed it a little bit more had I known things were going to be different. But I was amazed. You get to see different creations from all different parts of the world. And then, yes, you order, and those things have to be made after Chinese New Year, and think about supply chain. And we certainly have had supply chain issues this year, but thankfully our product arrived just when it needed to. So,
wow. And so is everything there all Christmas themed, Christmas oriented? Like this is specifically Christmas, or this is product for throughout the year?
the store is decked in Christmas, but there are things throughout the year here also. Gift giving, containers for your plants. We have so many plant lovers in 2020 because we are staying home more, and we want to make sure that we have healthy air to breathe. Nice green leaves always help perk up a mood, even when I have to get up at 8:30 in the morning. Thanks to Kristin.
Patty, you mentioned the smells, and that's one thing I
Yes.
do love about stepping into the flower gallery is
Yes.
the smell, especially around Christmas. I feel like there's always
Right?
kind of a cinnamony cider kind of just warmth.
So good. So one of the best smells that we have greeting people at the door, and I'm hoping you can see as much or as little as this, but the Habersham. Kristen knows about the Habersham craze. The Habersham is a scented wax container, no wick. You never burn it, but it has, look at these great pine cones.
Cute.
So visually stimulating, and the smell of pine around all the Christmas scents. We have very multitude of scents, but the Habersham is one of the things, Tina, you probably smell when you walk in the door. It's a made in the USA product, which is hard to find these days, but we handpick all these gifts, and they are the cinnamon. You're right, something about cinnamon and pine trees when we're all going to artificial. Not everyone, but so many. It's a the Habersham is a craze. It's a great gift giving because it's for everyone. It's for an entryway. It's for an office. We have
How
many
long does it
people.
retain that smell?
Well,
So
you can clean it. There have been Habershams around 3 to 5 years that are still going strong. You can use your blow dryer to reactivate the scent. It's a well-made product. Yeah. Well
Very
worth.
cool.
Yeah. So an under $20 price point for a gift, it's one of the best gifts we have year round because they make year round scents, including hydrangea for the summer, and lilac, which people go crazy for. So
I think the humidity too, with all of the flowers and the plants, and then that smell combined to it's almost like stepping into a little paradise when it's cold and blowy and dry outside. So
absolutely.
I love that.
And it's great at dusk time. So that 4 o'clock hour, we're open till 5:30 throughout the week. So 4, when the lights turn over, all those sparkling lights, again, we're remembering all the things that we saw as kids or through our childhood or growing up. It's like coming back in time. Yeah, it's magical, really.
What else is magical?
Santa's here too. Santa parks we can't tell you where exactly. You have to find them when you come in. But one of the best trees this year that I was happy to say, could we do this year, is the famous Nutcracker. right? How iconic is this guy in our community?
Yes.
Right.
And we didn't know that the Nutcracker would be postponed this year in person. We had no idea. So we have a whole tree dedicated to Nutcracker and Clara. Look at the ornament for all those ballerinas that used to dance. And how many memories do we think about going to the Nutcracker with families or dads? I used to go with my dad. That was a tradition that he would just take me every year to the Nutcracker.
Right. I wonder, viewers, have you enjoyed the Nutcracker locally? If so, is it a tradition? And have you gone to see it in other communities? I
Right?
would love to know.
It's one of my favorite. The music is wonderful throughout the whole show.
Yeah, it's such a classic.
Classic is
The music, the sounds of that, I feel like just resonate with us from childhood on. It's just like that instant, like Sugar Plum Fairy, just like, oh, I know exactly what that is.
right, right. Well, and where did we go after the show?
Bernstein.
Down the street to the candy shop.
Yeah.
So, of course, part of Christmas is giving cookies, baking cookies, giving cookies. I think the best gift, one of the best gifts, baking some cookies, putting it on a cute plate, and handing off to a friend or a neighbor or someone you just don't know. Surprise them. This year, porch drops are going to be iconic, aren't they? Like,
Right.
I love this idea. So we have some really cute plates and other things that you could. Cheese and crackers. Maybe you don't like cookies. I get it. We live in Wisconsin. I'll take cheese and crackers on the plate. No problem.
Right.
Right?
What a thoughtful gift. Yeah, leaving some food for somebody on a decorative plate for the holidays.
Yes.
I love it. And it could also be peanut butter balls if anybody's making any
Ooh.
plans.
You had me at peanut butter. Whoa. Right? Isn't it? It's sometimes the most simplistic things. We don't have to overthink. And we certainly at Flower Gallery, we do magnificent. We do. But we also do modest. We do all sorts of budgets because we know the season is just much more than the price tag. It certainly is. One of my other favorite things about Christmas is a cardinal, right? Like, and a snow globe. I also got snow globes every year from my dad. So this is super, all those memories.
Yeah.
But the
Is it a
music
music box too?
It is
or
not a music box. We've had that question. It's just a snow globe. But we have a whole tree dedicated to cardinals this year. Right when you walk in the front door, you're not going to miss it. You're going to run right into it. It's fantastic and mesmerizing when the lights go down. So 4:00, you feel like you are not in Manitowoc.
Yeah.
We have
especially with the snow that we just had yesterday, there was a cardinal in the yard, and the bright red against the white snow, it kind of reminds me of that snow globe you just showed us. It's a beautiful color.
It is beautiful color. Besides the cardinals, we have bird lover. We are such a nature around the lake here. The Northwoods, we have 2 trees in the back of the store dedicated to critters. So some of the critters that we see around here, Canadian geese, squirrels, fox, some alpacas. So our critter tree does extremely well, and our bird tree also does extremely well. So finches and great bird seed feeders for the birds, you place outside. So we really try to think of, Dana goes to that show and really tries to think of her customer base and who's coming in and who might be new to coming in. We have something for everyone, literally. One of the other most favorite trees we did this year, vintage ornaments. This reminds me of, right? Sputnik Fest, right? All the retro. It is
that is classic.
Classic. So we have a classic tree this year, and it's upside down, which is even cooler. So you can see that you can hang trees upside down. We try to do a little bit unique. Dana is a total out of the box thinker. You'll see maybe a wreath thrown in a tree, or definitely birch logs. Think of things that are around your house that will accentuate the tree. It doesn't have to be traditional. It can certainly just be something completely out of the box. So
the tinsel on that ornament reminds me of the aluminum Christmas trees.
Right.
Do you have any of those there too that you're displaying?
We have none that are displayed, but we have some for sale. Not back to the original tinsel trees, but these are pretty decent for, comparison's sake. They are new this year, and we did have someone in say, wow, that looks a lot like, the old school tinsel trees that they're getting ready to display. We just don't have room in the store to display those tinsel trees. So this year we had to decline. In years past we have. So it's our windows, we want the window shopping experience. Like maybe you went to Chicago when you were growing up or other cities and got to see how they decorated for Christmas.
Right, like gimbals or something like that.
Yes, remember all the fancy. So our window display will be happening. When you see that, the store is set for Christmas inside. It could be this week. That's maybe some insider information. Yeah, you will.
The flower
see.
gallery really does that well, is your window dressings. It's always beautiful. It's always fun to drive past and to take a look because it's always changing and it's always so, artistically and beautifully done.
Mm-hmm. It takes many brains for sure.
Yeah, I love the back window. So it would be like on Maritime Drive, Dana's big circle wedding arch is back there with those reindeer. It is, if you haven't driven by or haven't paid attention, you must drive by and check it out. It's beautiful.
That's Santa's sleigh with all your presents. Yeah, that's what's back there. Yes, with the reindeer.
I'll have to look closer because I can only catch parts of it.
That's when you have to take you just pull the car off to the side and you take a stroll downtown because so many great things going on downtown.
Yes.
The planters are getting up, they've just changed those over, all of the great street decorations. It's beautiful down here.
They were working on putting up a decorative bus stop.
Right.
That's in the same style as the new clock. Do you know, is that finished?
I saw them working on it yesterday, so I don't think it's finished yet. Yeah.
It does look.
It looks a lot like the clock, right? It's very old school. Kris Kringle kind of appearance, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it'll be so interesting to see. I love the reinvestment in downtown because that really is the heart of our community.
And we see more and more people coming in to express their gratitude for small business this year. Our customers are really trying to think, and myself, I'm trying to think, where can I get this locally rather than click the easy button on the computer? I know it is so easy. I love things dropped to my door, but really, we've had many people come in and say, we're doing it differently this year. We want to see these businesses around 5 years from now, which is heartwarming, isn't it? I mean,
does the Flower Gallery have an online presence too, or only in-store?
We have Facebook, so we do some sales through Facebook. The great thing is we deliver in Manitowoc County. We deliver our plants, we deliver our flowers, but we deliver this stuff too. With the change of the times and nursing homes sometimes not accepting real flowers, we have gone to silk flowers. We have gone to Habershams. Many people have been delivered a Habersham in the last 6 months. The goods, the ornaments, that can be part of our delivery service, which is a great idea for out of town family who will not be here this year.
So let's back up a second. You mentioned that nursing homes aren't necessarily taking live plants or flowers.
Right now, all of them are right now. But there was a time around Mother's Day, many were not accepting the flower deliveries. So we had to get creative.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't
different,
know that.
Right? Very different. We've learned a lot about what's happening. So they are trying to update their policies as fast as they can, but their best concern is keeping everyone healthy. We have put bags around it so they can spray down the bags with a great disinfectant. So that's been different too.
Sure.
We just get creative here. We can get creative.
I think that's really the mantra of 2020, right?
Right.
We've all had to continually be creative to pivot and roll and shift and change with everything that's been thrown at us.
Yeah, we try to take every phone call or every in person, and we think before we say, no, we can't do that. How can we do it? Customer service is really a strong suit of ours that we pride ourselves on. And that's what Dana wants all of us to, how can we help bring a smile to someone's face?
Yeah. awesome delivery drivers. They are always, most of them are ladies, cheerful and happy and so excited to deliver goodies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Patty, thank you for bringing a little bit of the Christmas spirit to us. I can hear the music in the background now too.
Right. It started.
Yeah.
How fun. And I definitely have to check out what a Habersham is. I have never heard of that before.
It's a craze. We have people leave with multiples, 5, 8 Habershams for their gift giving. It is something indeed.
I love it. Well, this has been cool. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know that the elves back in the store probably need you to get back to them.
Yeah.
So we are going to sign off, and we will see everybody next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.